Disclaimer: this is an imaginary story. Please don't relate it with any idol or any other person. It's nothing related to anyone's life. It's pure work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. It's a noticeable story. If you are solo stand and can't see other members, then this story isn't for you. You are on wrong channel. Watch the story carefully, then comment. Be respectful and don't embarrass yourself. Whatever pics are shown in this story, they all have been taken from Google and Pinterest. The credit for them goes to their real owner. Storyline and voice are mine, so please don't copy that. Author's point of view. In the heart of Seoul, four mafia brothers were ruling like kings. They have two teenagers brothers, Jimin and Cook. Their dad, Mr. Kim, had an affair with his secretary. He had an illegitimate child, T, who was same age as Jimin. When Cook was 5 years old, Mrs. Kim and Hyang came to know Mr. Kim's illicit relationship with his secretary Han Yura and their son T. Mrs. Kim couldn't tolerated this betrayal and died. Hanks blamed Mr. Kim and Han Yura for their mom's death. They hated them so much, especially Yoongi. He was very close to their mom. He didn't let Mr. Kim attend their mom's funeral. After few years, they got the news of their dad and Han Yura's death, except Yoongi. They all attended their funeral. They came to know T was left all alone because of their parents' illicit relationship. Nobody wanted to accept him. T was a fragile boy. He was so scared. He didn't know what he would do. People stoned were scaring him more. Jin, being the eldest, Hyang couldn't let T there to die. He took him with himself in their home. T didn't know any of them. First time he met them, when Yoongi found out this, he became more mad. He burst out on T and told him the truth of his parents' illicit relationship. T got more scared to see Yoongi. Jin slapped Yoongi and sent him in his room. They all take care of T, but as a responsibility, they didn't talk with him like their brothers. They couldn't accept him. Slowly, their behavior towards T turned soft, but Yoongi still wasn't ready to accept him. 3 months passed. They partially accepted T and allowed him to call them as Hyang, except Yoongi. T was happy with them. T was being bullied in his school but never told anyone about this. Let's see what happens next. Sejun, go and bring tomorrow's test paper for us. Teacher went to eat lunch. There is no one in the staff room. T, I won't steal papers. It's wrong. Minho, stop your drama. It's not your first time to steal papers. T, but now I won't steal anything. Sejun, you useless and pathetic boy, dare to deny us? Minze grabbed his jaw. So now you got tongue too. You forgot your place. Don't worry. Today we will remind you your real place. Let him bring in at our place. Harshly left his jaw. T, no, leave my hand. Sejun grabbed his hand tightly. Not until you learn your lesson. T tried to pull back his hand. Please leave me. Minho, you are good in begging, but now it's too late. They all were they all started dragging him to backside of the school. He was pleading and trying to pull his hand. Suddenly they all heard a voice and froze at their place. They all turned around and gulped hard. What's happening here? Everyone. Teacher? Teacher. Tyang? What happened? Why are you screaming and crying? Shojun. Nothing, teacher. We were only playing. It's recess time. Minze. Tyang is standing here alone, so we were taking him out to play. Teacher. Oh, okay. Tyang, principal is calling you. Go and meet him. T. Okay, teacher. Left. T quickly ran from there. Teacher unknowingly became his protector and saved him today. Seju, Minze, and Minho were looking at T with furious eyes. T knocked the door of principal's cabin. May I come in, sir? Principal, come inside. T, sir, you called me? Principal, Tyang, you haven't submitted the number of your new guardians. T, actually, sir, they are. Principal, I don't want to listen anything. Give me your new guardian's number. You are making excuses from past 3 months. Now I need to talk with them. T, scared. Why, sir? What happened? Principal, it's none of your business. Just give me their numbers. T bite his lower lip and gave Jin and Hobie's number. Here, sir. T gave him Jin and Hobie's number as they both were little generous towards him. T came back home by public transport. His heart was sinking, thinking what principal would want to talk with his guardian. He pressed the doorbell, but no one opened the door. Usually, Jimin or Cook opened the door. As their school was closer to home, they reached home early. But today, after pressing doorbell a lot of time, no one opened the door. He went to security guards and asked. They told him Jimin and Cookie hadn't returned yet. T called them, but they didn't pick their calls. T opened the door by spare key and went inside. He was so hungry. This home was still not his, except Yungi. Everyone allowed him to call Hank, but still there was a lack of warmth of family. He never touched the things without others' permission. He was grateful towards everyone, but didn't forget his place. He knew that he wasn't a part of the family. He was just an unwanted responsibility. Usually, Jimin and Cook served his lunch, but today there was no one. He tried hard to control his hunger and wait until Jimin and Cook returned back, but failed as he didn't eat his food during recess time because of his bullies. He went to kitchen to find something. He saw there was a food in fridge. He became happy to see it. He took out the food, but it was cold. He saw his mom and everyone to use microwave for reheating the food. He placed the food in microwave. Once it reheated, out of excitement, he tried to took out it by bare hands. Dishes were so hot. They slipped from his hand and spread on the floor. His hands burned. He started jumping and crying while yanking his hands. He came at the corner of the room, sat on the floor, and started crying while missing his mom. T, while crying, Mama, it's hurting. Why did you leave me alone? You never let me do any work. You didn't teach me anything. Now, what will I do without you? I don't know anything. They all are good, but I'm not the part of their family. I'm just their responsibility, which they are bearing without their will. I want my family. I'm missing how you used to cook for me and feed me by your hands. I'm missing you, Mom. He was the only child of his parents, raised up by so much love and protection. People used to taunt him, but his parents loved him. Now, left alone with the family who gave him everything except their love. Soon, Yungi unlocked the door and came inside. He came back to change his clothes because June accidentally spilled coffee on his suit. He had to attend a very important meeting which he couldn't do with his stained clothes. He hurriedly went to his room and changed his clothes. He heard soft sobbing but ignored as he was in hurry. He went to kitchen to drink water but became mad to see spilled food and broken dishes. He started shouting. Yungi, mad, Minnie, Cookie, how many times do we need to remind you that kitchen is in the garden? Minnie, Cookie, come here fast before I drag both of you by my hands. T immediately ran to Yungi. Sir. Yungi looked at T. What are you doing here? I didn't call you. Minnie, Cookie. T. They aren't at home. Yungi. How careless they are. They left the house after messing the kitchen. Let them come today. T looked at floor and gulped hard. Minnie and Cookie didn't do anything. It's me. Cut off. Yungi, don't you dare to save them. T shook his head querulously. No, I'm not saving them. It's me who spilled the food. Yungi walked towards T and T walked backward. You spilled the food and left here like nothing? What do you think? We are your servant who will clean your mess. Don't forget it's not your home where you used to live with dirt. It's our house, my mom's soul in it. We always let it clean and tidy. Hanks brought the sinner's flood to stain our pure house. Don't you dare to think it's you. You are nothing but an unwanted responsibility, one that we are bearing with heavy heart. Don't take advantage of everyone's kindness. Never forget your place. Looked at T, who was shivering and looking down. Don't just stand here like a statue. Clean the mess which you spread. T didn't see anything. He brought the cleaning stuff and knelt down on the cold marble floor and tried to pick the food. As soon as hot food touched his already burnt fingers, he couldn't take it and a painful scream came out from his mouth. He immediately pulled his hands back and clenched his fist. Hot tears were rolling down through his cheeks. He again tried to touch the food, but his hands were shaking a lot. Yungi was standing there while crossing his arms and observing T until he saw a dark mark on T's fingers. He grabbed his arm and took him near the sink and washed his hand through running water. He saw burn marks in his both the hands. He was trying to pull back his hand, but Yungi's grip was so tight. Yungi left his arm. Stand here, don't you dare to move. Left T, more panicked. Why does he tell me to stand here? Where does he go? D- d- does he go to bring cane or belt for me? Yungi came back. Show me your hands. T, scared. So sorry. I will clean everything. Please don't hit me. Yungi ignored his pleading and stretched his hand. When I say something, obey me. I don't like to repeat myself. He started applying ointment on T's burned fingers. T was crying and trying to pull back his hand as it was sticking. Yungi was as gentle as he could. He removed his coat, folded his sleeves, and cleaned the kitchen. T was standing there and watching him. Once Yungi was done, he unfolded his sleeves and wore his coat. He was about to go, but T's tummy growled loudly. He wanted to ignore it, but couldn't take a single step. He stopped at his place and came back. He checked the fridge and found there was no food. He again removed his coat, folded his sleeves, and called someone with Bluetooth. Yungi, while bringing the ingredients. Can meeting delay half an hour? Secretary. Sorry, sir. Mr. Jing is already arrived. He is asking for you. Yungi, while chopping the veggies in the speed of light. Try to engage him. Secretary. Sorry, sir. I already tried, but he is saying he has an urgent flight. If this meeting hasn't placed today, then we have to wait till next month. Yungi. Do you get files? Secretary. Yes, sir. John, sir, already sent all the files and papers. He even sent the contract papers. Yungi. Good. Call Mr. Jung and start the meeting. Secretary. Sir, I can't do meeting with him. Yungi. I will do the meeting. You just sit there and put the call on speaker. Check the papers carefully. In few minutes I will reach there and sign. Secretary. Okay, sir. Yungi was cooking the food while doing meeting with Mr. Jung. T was amazed to see Yungi's speed and multitasking. He wasn't paying attention on his pain or Yungi's conversation. His full attention was on Yungi's cooking skill. He was standing there while opening his mouth. In the blink of eyes, he prepared the food and placed it in front of T. T's mouth was filled just by his aroma. Yungi was wiping the cooktop. T picked the spoon and about to eat, but Yungi lightly slapped T's knuckles and picked him up like he had no weight, made him sit on the counter. He started feeding him by his hands. Yungi was still on the call. T was lost in food. It was so tasty. Yungi cleaned the dishes and left. T wanted to thank him, but Yungi didn't give him any chance. He didn't even look at T and left. Time skipped in the evening. Everyone came back home. Jimin and Cook went on shopping with Hobie. From their school, they brought clothes for everyone and showing to them. T was looking at them by standing at the living room's balcony and smiled to see them. He remembered his time, how his parents brought him clothes and other stuffs. Tea. Whenever we went on shopping and came back, I always tried the clothes and showed to Mama and Dada. Dada used to come to pick me and we went on shopping from school. Tears rolled down through his cheeks. Now all those moments turned in memories. Now here is no one who can buy clothes for me. June. You all brought whole mall here. How much money you wasted? Do you think money grows on tree? Cook. You're right, Juni Hanky. I'm also with you. We shouldn't waste money. Looked at Jimin. Mini Hanky, tomorrow we will again go to mall and return all the books which we brought for Juni Hanky. Jimin. Okay, that storeman said we can return till tomorrow. So after the school we will go to mall and buy something else. These books are so expensive and rare to find. June. Books? Hobby. We found your favorite writer's new series of books, so thought to buy for you. See? Place the set of books on his hands. June. Eyes shined to see the books. Thank you so. Cook picked all the books and gave to Jimin. But you don't want na. It's waste of money. We will save money by returning them. June again took the books from Jimin's hand. No, it's not the waste of money. You already brought them, so no need to return. Jimin tried to snatch the books. No, Hank, you don't need to bear anything. We can return. June. No, I'm not bearing it. I genuinely want to read them. June, why are you wasting time in arguments? Just say sorry and close the matter. June. Fine. Okay, I'm so sorry. You don't waste money. June. Fine, Cookie. I'm so sorry. You didn't waste money. You utilized the money. Cook. That's better. You can keep them. June signed in relief. Thank you so much. Hobie looked here and there. T, where are you? Come here. T ran to living room. He's young. Hobie, give him some bags. This is for you. T, what's this? Hobie, clothes for you. I don't know about your liking and disliking, so cut off. Cook, I choose all the clothes. They all will look good on you, T Hang. You can thank me later. I'm not in hurry. T, overwhelmed. You brought clothes for me? Jin, we never buy a single thing. We always buy things for everyone. Now you are here, so you will also get all the things. Take them and try. Teary eyes. Thank you so much. About to pick the bags, but Yoongi snatched them. Jin, mad. Yoongi, what's his behavior? Why did you snatch the bags? It's his. I told you so many times that he will get everything. Stop be cut off. Yoongi placed the bags on the couch. I'm not stopping you. He burned his hands. If he has picked the bags, it would stink. And your 2 bowls broke. I already ordered the same bowls, so don't be panicked. Left. Jin, my bowls broke? Widened his eyes. Yoongi, come back and answer me. T, they broke by me. I was hungry. I reheated the food in microwave. When I picked them, they slipped from my hand. They were so hot. Sorry. Jimin opened T's hands. You should pick the bowls from gloves. You badly burnt your hands. Hobie, did you apply anything? Jin, You must be hungry. Let me cook something for you. Tea. No, I'm not hungry. Sir prepared the food for me and fed me by his hands. He applied the ointment too. June widened his eyes. What? Yoongi Yang made food for you and fed you by his own hands? Hobie, it's unbelievable. Jin, Yoongi isn't heartless. Hobie, Tea, come with me. I will check your hands. Jimin, but first tell me which color of raincoat you want. Cookie already chose purple only. Now green and yellow left. Tea. Can I take green one? Jimin. Okay, green one is yours. Place it in Tea's bag. I will place your bags in your room. Tea. Thank you. Tea was so happy to get new clothes. In the afternoon, he was crying while missing his mom and her food. Then Yoongi prepared food and fed him by his own hands. Now he was missing his dad and saying now who would bring clothes for him. So Hobie brought clothes for him. Things couldn't change magically overnight, but slowly he was getting everything. Time skipped at next day. T was happily walking in cafeteria. It was recess time. June gave him extra money to buy dessert for himself. He was wearing new uniform and shoes which Hobie brought him last night. He happily bought the strawberry pastry and about to eat but got slapped by Shujun and dragged in backside of the school. It was raining. T was crying and screaming, but no one came to help him. Shujun threw him on the hard ground. Here we failed and you are enjoying strawberry pastry, huh? T, you failed because you didn't study. Minho bent down and pulled T's hair, yanking his head up. You really got so much courage. You dare to blame us. Punched on T's face and his head bumped on the hard ground. We failed because you didn't steal papers. It's your fault. T screamed, Mama! Minzy started kicking him. You dare to deny us? You are just a pathetic boy born to serve us only. Scream more loudly. Let everyone know how pathetic you are. Shujun grabbed T's wistful hair, yanking his head up. You are a sinner. You should be grateful that we showed mercy on you and allowed you to come near us. Sinners like you deserve to stay alone. You only deserve hatred. Banged his head on the hard ground. T scratched Shojun's face in attempt to free himself. Mama! Shojun lifted his hair and touched his face. Ah! Checked his hand. Blood! You dare to pull out my blood? I thought to leave you, but you proved that you are the blood of flood. Alright, you will get what you truly deserve. Stood up and stretched his hand and crushed his knuckles under his shoes. You dare to scratch my face by your this hand? Let me see your courage. Minho stretched his other hand and kicked his knuckles. Taeyang, you can never get anyone's support. Nobody let you come closer to them. You are a curse, Taeyang, a curse. They were beating T mercilessly. T's hands hadn't healed yet from burn injury. His head, knuckles, mouth, hands, knees, everything were bleeding. Hearing tears screaming, some students came there. They were standing and watching. None of them came forward to save tea. They were only whispering and watching like dummy. Fate has a strange but its own way of weaving its threads. A boy who is brutally beaten up for no mistake, just for proving the dominance in the world where everyone just hates him and push him away. Will he ever get anyone who loves him and protect from everything? There, T was brutally beaten up, and here Hyungi annoyingly opened the door of Hobie's car. He went halfway, but his car stopped in midway, and he had to go to Hobie's hospital to bring his car. Hyungi sat on the driver's seat. Mom, it's not good to Matt daily. Please now stop raining. You know, because of your anger, I'm late. I have to go on very important auction. My car stopped in midway and I have to come to bring Hobie's car. At least slow down your anger, please. He was talking with Rain. He believed Rain was his mom who always guided him. He was driving carefully. Suddenly his eyes fell on front mirror. There was something in back seat. He tried hard to ignore it, but it was groaning at his eyes, so he stopped the car at side and picked it. Yungi, raincoat? Whose raincoat is it? As far as I know, Hobie never used raincoat and it looks kid's raincoat. Yeah, it's Tyang's raincoat which Hobie brought yesterday. Hobie dropped him in school today. He's such a careless kid. Sometimes he hurts himself by trees, sometimes burned his hands, and now he forget his raincoat. Place the raincoat back on back seat and started the car. Let it be. When he will sick and Hobie will give him an injection, then he will understand. Why do I care for him? He is just an unwanted responsibility. Suddenly turned his car to tease school and heard a loud thunder. Mom, I'm not going to him for showing mercy. I don't care if he lives or die, but if he will fall sick, Hobie has to waste his expensive injection and medicines on him. I'm just saving our money and efforts. There is nothing else, and I will talk to his teacher and inform his teacher that his hands are burned, so don't scold him. I know he might have forgotten to inform his teacher. All he knows only crying. He never tells that he needs anything. What will this boy do in his life? Drove off. He told himself it was just a raincoat, just a careless mistake, but deep inside, something heavier than logic steadied his hands on the wheel. He hid his care behind his excuse, not knowing destiny chose him to protect the boy whom he didn't want in his life. Do you want a peaceful revenge or let Hyungi to forgive these bullies? To be continued. Author's note. That's it for today. I hope you all liked it. Yeah, I know it was supposed to be two shorts, but there are so many things which I want to show, especially illegitimate child suffering and struggles to make their place in others' heart. Honestly speaking, so no one accept them Not only their own family and friends, even society won't accept them. They are treated like a stain. Nobody wants to do friendship with him. Nobody wants to marry them. Their lives are so miserable. They have to bear people's hatred without any reason. They are innocent, but they are judged by their parents' sin. They received this much hatred that they lost their innocence and became an evil. I hope you all enjoyed it. We will meet soon with next part. Till then, take care of yourself. Love you all. If you like this story, then please do like, subscribe, share, and comment. I assure you that you will never gonna regret on your decision. Thanks for watching.